Track limits proved to be an issue for many drivers during qualifying, with a number of them having lap times deleted. Barbans seemed unbeatable, however, remaining in first position for the entirety of the session and taking the pole almost half a second quicker than Takubi. Mars lined up in a strong P3, with Black Fridays rounding out the second row.
And we are underway racing here for Season 5 in Imola. It's a nice start there from Barbans, getting away off the grid very well. Takubi, decent start from him, almost under pressure there from Mars as they make their way on the run towards Tamburello. It's Barbans who leads. Takubi and Mars, the top three, staying unchanged. A bit of carbon fibre flying off in the background, not sure where that's come from. Smith making up a position there on ICU as well as they make the run towards Villeneuve. ICU and Shan fighting as well as they make the run through, but looks like ICU holding on to P8 for the time being. In towards Tosa we go now. These guys up at the front, keeping it nice and clean. Everybody getting through pretty well. Luca and Tess Will swapping positions here as we now make the run towards Piratella. Luca just holds on to the position. Is that front wing I've just seen missing? Yes, it is. Luca missing the front right end plates off of his Aston Martin. Lap 1 damage for him, starting right up there, I think in P10. Not going to be helping him in this race. Might have to come in for a bit of an early pit stop as we now make the run towards the Variante Outer. You can really see just through this first lap how much it is really costing him. And yeah, it's really unfortunate. Orange damage on his Aston Martin car. We are underway here in Imola. Sertdogan getting a decent jump. Shuriken a couple tenths behind. Takubi is right on the back of the Ferrari though as we make the run down towards Tamburello. Here comes Takubi, pulling ahead already, just about alongside the Ferrari. Is he going to try and make the double potentially? Gets himself down the inside on Shuriken, gets himself ahead of Shuriken. That is a crucial move here on this restart lap. Seeing some more time penalties popping up here as well. Orax and Berkey fighting in towards the Villeneuve chicane. No moves happening there, but Barbans crucially not yet able to get himself past Shuriken. Heading in towards Tosa. Barbans looks to the inside on the Ferrari. Can he squeeze his way past? Looks like he just about can, but Shuriken still fighting back as they make their way up the hill towards Piratella. Barbans on the inside. Shuriken left defenses, can't hold it around the outside. And here comes Takubi on Cert as well, up at the front. Takubi's back through into the lead and once again puts another car between himself and Barbans in his efforts to try and pull away here on this restart. 6/10 currently the gap. Make that 7, make that 8. Barbans is really struggling here behind certain Shuriken and Mars wheel to wheel in towards the Variante Outer. We've got some more yellow flags in the chicane as well. I think that's Tess Will dropping down the order. Looks like he's had a bit of an off there, but Takubi is already over a second ahead. This restart has worked brilliantly for the Williams driver, and that's Barbans getting out of shape there, coming through the Ravatsas. Barbans, not a great restart for him. Look at the gap, 1.7 seconds. Takubi has absolutely flown away on this restart. Black Friday is trying to get himself past as well on this towards Tamburello. Barbans up the inside on Sir. Black Friday's down the inside on Mars. Gets himself up into what would be a net P3 position now. But Sir probably not going to be too reluctant to just let Black Friday go. Going to try and give his teammate a bit of a chance to fight back here. Smith and Shuriken through Villeneuve. Smith gets himself back up ahead of the Ferrari. I might see some team orders down to Ferrari as well. The two Ferraris now 9th and 10th. They might be swapping positions very soon. 1.4 now the gap between Barbans. He's starting to close in, but Black Friday's also 1.6 further behind Barbans. He doesn't have the DRS to the race leader. Barbans sets the fastest lap of the race, and here comes Mars now gaining on the back of his teammate. Here comes Orax as well, trying to get in on this. Are they going to go 3 wide towards turn number 1? They almost do 2 by 2. Here comes Mars making the double overtake, gets himself past Black Fridays and Cert in towards turn number 1. Cert loses 2 positions for the price of 1. Orax gets himself through as well onto the back of Black Fridays, but what a move from Mars. Gets himself through, and Lay has retired on the exit of Tamburello. We have another safety car deployed here on lap number 12. That's going to close this pack up once again. Up at the front of the field, Barbans just a couple tenths behind Takubi. Not really a chance now for him to pull his 3 seconds or 6 second gaps that he needs to pull on the cars behind as they make their way now in towards Aqua Minerale. Takubi still holding on to the lead. Barbans with that 6 second time penalty. This is almost going to be a perfect start. Another time penalty for Barbans. He's now on to 9 seconds. Is there a chance that that drops him behind Orax potentially? I don't know exactly with all the gaps, but that could be costly potentially for Barbans to lose yet another position here in this race. But as we make our way towards the Ravatsas, it's going to be a great start to the season for Takubi as he rounds the final 2 corners here in Imola. He couldn't quite do it last season, but up towards the start-finish line, he's going to start the season off with a bang. It's another win for Takubi here in SDRL. Once the penalty's applied, Mars equals his career best with a P2 to start off this season once again. Black Fridays comes home in P3. Barban's just about hangs on to P4 by 2 seconds there. Chan makes his way up to P6. Berkey into 7th. Smith 8th. Nick Fly's going to come home to finish in P9.
An early safety car triggered the tyre switch from medium to hard for all bar Sert and Shuriken, and these two drivers led us away after the restart. Takubi and Barbant were soon past though, and remained at the front of the field for the rest of the race, with Mars and Black Friday close behind. As expected, track limits played a big part in the results of this race. Despite crossing the line in second place, Barbant was demoted to 4th once the penalties were applied. Takubi kept it clean to take the win, with Mars following Black Fridays across the line just over 2 seconds behind. A time penalty for Black Fridays promoted Mars to second place, but Black Friday still managed to round out the podium in P3.